Welcome po to Reviewers, a compilation of exam reviewers and item explanations. So meron po tayong flowchart dito. Based on the given flowchart, what is the result if the input number is 51? Is it A, 68, B, 101, C, 134, D, 1,500, or letter E, 2,500? Now, to answer this type of problem, since we are given with the input number, then we are just going to follow po yung flowchart talaga niya. Kasi yung goal naman natin dito is to get the end result. So, what we need to remember here are the characteristics and properties of numbers. Since this is a flowchart natin, meron tayong idea of odd and of course what is even. It's opposite characteristic of a number. Meron din tayo ditong prime. Okay? So that we will be able to understand the correct processes later. So let me use here a pen. Okay? And we start with the input number 51. So is it odd or even? Obviously, 51 is an odd number. Okay? Because when we say odd, there's an item that cannot be paired with another one. Let's just put this into this perspective. 50 is an even number kasi it's a pair of 25 or 25 pairs. And 1, of course, it makes it odd. That would mean, in our flowchart here, since this option is no, so we remove this now on our consideration. Just for this given item. So we'll be proceeding to the next part here. Is it prime? Now, this is where it gets complicated po. Kasi we all know what are the smallest prime numbers or the first prime numbers. 2 is a prime number. 3, 5, 7, followed with 11. But 51 is far from it. So this is the time that we should know as well the idea of divisibility rules. Kasi pag makahanap tayo ng factor ng 51 using the divisibility rules, then it's no longer a prime. Because for a number to be considered a prime po, it should have only factors 1 and itself. In this case, it should only be 1 and 51 so that 51 could be considered as prime. However, we could look into the divisibility rules of 51. Let's say the divisibility rule for 3. Kasi yung divisibility rule ng 3 po natin is if we are to add the digits of a number and if the resulting sum is divisible by 3, then the entire number is divisible by 3 itself as well. And that's just one of the divisibility rules. We also have divisibility rule by 2. We all know that all even numbers are divisible by 2. Meron din tayo divisibility by 4, 5, 6, and so on. But here, since we are going to check it step by step, so since it's not divisible by 2 kasi nga it's an odd number, we proceed with divisible by 3. And here's the process. If we are going to add 5 and 1, this is actually equal to 6. What does this mean? This means that 51, because 6 is divisible by 3, okay? Is divisible by 3 yan. That would mean 51 is also divisible by 3. And that's the divisibility rule by 3 po. Because again, the divisibility rule by 3, simply add all the digits. If you have more than 2, so you do it as well. If the sum here can be divided by 3, then the entire number itself is also divisible by 3. This makes again 51 as divisible by 3. What is the point now here? Since 51 is divisible by 3, then it's non-prime. Okay, it's non-prime, or we also use the term composite number. Okay, composite. Again, it's called composite or non-prime because it is actually divisible by 3 according to the divisibility rule of 3. This would mean that this is not prime, so we are going to reject these options here as well. We'll be proceeding to this last option here of subtracting by 1 and squaring it. Okay? So 51 minus 1 is 50. That's the process here. And then you square it. So 50 squared. Okay? So we have here 2,500. You might want to check this using calculator po. This would mean that yung tamang sagot dito is yung letter E, which is 2,500. This is now the result if our input number is 51. Now, I also would like to share here some ideas kasi parang itong problem nito is complicated for some. You can actually use here the cancellation or elimination method for our options. As you decide already earlier that it's not odd, okay? Since it's not odd, let me go here, okay? Since it's not odd, the idea of doubling it, so 51 times 2 is 102, and then plus 32 is 134, is no longer possible kasi nga di siya pwede. So yung letter C is limited na agad. Okay? Now, when you go here, is it prime? So since it's not prime because you have identified this already here, so from 5 options to 4, we can still eliminate some of it. Kasi nga, if it's prime, okay? If it's prime, you add 17, right? So 51 plus 17 is 68, so it's not possible. So you remove that as well. Okay? And then, finally dito, tatlong options na lang. Yeah, subtract 1 to 50, so 51 is 50. So, and square it, of course, 101 is no longer possible. You are left with D and E. Now, this is also an elimination method. Even if you don't know the exact answer here, at least you can increase your chances of getting an answer right by eliminating options that can no longer be possible. Kasi nga, yung flowchart natin have options on yes or no. At this time, our answer is 2,500 for this question. So once again po, ito po yung reviewers. Don't forget po to subscribe on our channel, like our videos, and if kaya naman po, pakishare na lang din po. And leave a comment po for our future videos improvement. And follow our FB page and stay tuned for more videos. Maraming salamat!